Hi guys! Hello my Kundalini yogis. This is Kundalini Yoga with Looney. Hope you're all doing wonderful. If you have the chance and the ability, please sign in on the little text box here and say hello. Let me know who you are, where you're chiming in from, and what your experience of Kundalini Yoga is if you're new to it, and maybe if you have any questions. Good to see you guys signing on. Happy Wednesday. And this is Honey. She's very, very snuggly today, so I hope she stays out of my way while we're practicing. She's gotten in the line of fire a couple times. So welcome. We're going to be working on the third and fourth chakra today. So the gateway between the low and the high triangle, which is a wonderful space to work on because, it starts to transform our consciousness into higher perspective. So get yourselves ready. If you tend to be inflexible in the quads and the hip flexors, you might want to grab yourselves a strap. I'll explain why later, but if you already know that about yourself, that you tend to be a little tight in this region, in the front of the legs, and maybe even into the belly area, grab yourselves a little strap or something that can serve as a strap. So whether it's like maybe a scarf or something that eventually you'll be wrapping around the ankles and coming into a bow pose with. Let's see, we got Felicia McDonald. Hello again from Salem, Massachusetts. Experienced. And Honey, Felicia McDonald says hello. She's decided to go lay on the bed for a little while, which is probably for the best. She's had some negative experiences when I've started teaching. So she's been trained to be here in the beginning. And then at the end, once the sound instruments and we start chanting, she usually comes back in. You know how dogs are with sound. So thanks, Felicia. Good to have you. All right, guys. So feel free to chime in and say hello. We have a few minutes before we get started to kind of set the space and answer any questions that you might have. Just a little heads up, if you don't already know, Yoga Works as of tomorrow will be changing their platform from YouTube to Zoom. And from your perspective, very little will change in that you can still go on to their the website, which is YogaWorks classes, yogaworks.com/classes/live, and it will bring you to Mind Body Online, where you can find the list of classes that you want to participate in. Same holds true for now, with the exception if you go directly to the YouTube channel. We won't be doing it on YouTube as of tomorrow. We'll be doing it through Zoom. I will be emailing out the link tonight to tomorrow's 2:30 class as soon as I get it. They're going to be sending out the links the day before each class moving forward. And the other little change that's going to be taking place with YogaWorks live streaming is some classes, a small fraction of the classes will still be offered free live streaming, but the majority will be back to a paid model. And you have three options in which how you want to pay for that, whether you have an already purchased class pack, whether you already have a membership, or whether you want to buy on a class by class level. Whenever you go to participate in these live stream classes, you'll be given the opportunity to pick how you want to participate, whether it's through what's offered for free or through three of the paid option models. Okay, enough of that. Let's see who we got here. Felicia gave me a whole bunch of fun emoticons. Kyla Davis, hi from Cape Cod. Oh, my Massachusetts people, hey. Tammy Starwitch, hi from Seattle. Thank you for being here. Awesome. Good to have you. Howard, hey, good to see you. Tucker, Kara, thank you for doing this. You're welcome. My pleasure. It benefits me too, because in many ways, you guys are one of the main modes of social interaction I have right now. So it keeps me sane and happy for sure. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever just gave it. It's about 10:30, so let's get started. Like I mentioned, if you're just signing on, depending, if you have tightness in the quads and in the hip flexors and even into the front belly. You may want to grab a strap because at some point during the class today in the Kriya, we're going to be getting into a bow pose where we kind of reach back and grab onto our ankles. And the strap can be helpful here if grabbing onto the ankles is somewhat out of your access. So grab that close, and if you don't have a strap, maybe a scarf or a long piece of fabric that's strong can serve in that way. Let's see. Kathleen O'Hara, howdy from San Francisco. Tay Nago, hi Kara. Hi everyone, another MA person here. Oh my gosh, all these MA people, I love you guys. I wish I knew you when I lived back in Massachusetts. But we're getting to know each other now, which is cool. Okay, let's slide back. Come into a nice seated position, maybe a pillow or a bolster to sit on. And today's class, we're going to be focusing on the third and the fourth chakra. And with regard to the third chakra, most specifically our will, or the power of will, we're going to explore that a little bit more deeply. But before we get into that, and before we tune in, let's close our eyes. Palms face up on the knees, index finger and thumb join. Chin gently taps into the chest to create length in the back of the neck. And let's take a series of long, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. And notice if you're not using your diaphragm on the breath. As you inhale, let the diaphragm drop, let the belly expand. And as you exhale, diaphragm rises, navel draws to the spine. Just doing these breaths in order to change the state of the nervous system. Let's take two more. Feel the ribs expand. Okay. Just that small little breathing exercise serves to help us calm the mind and the body, calm the nervous system, and get us into a more receptive state to begin the practice. And the other practice that we do at the beginning of practice is tuning in with the Adi mantra and the Mangala Chavan mantra. These two mantras set a vibrational sacred space. All matter is equal to energy, right? So even the matter that is our physical body and the space in which we inhabit is energy vibrating at a particular frequency. And the frequency is what gives it its shape, dimension, texture, and all those things. And as we use vibration to raise our consciousness, as we use vibration to heal ourselves, we start to change the physical integrity of the matter of the body by raising the frequency of our vibration. So we begin that process by rubbing the hands together, stimulating 72,000 energy channels. We call them nadis. And then we bring the hands to the heart center in prayer pose. This mudra helps balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain. My eyes are going to be drawn up to third eye center, creating a little bit of tension at the optic nerve area, stimulating hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal glands in the brain. My bathroom muscles are engaged in pulling upward, so I'm directing the flow of energy upward through the body. We begin setting sacred space by chanting a mantra, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the divine teacher within. Through vibration, we're calling on the spirit and the soul. We're moving beyond the constructs of the personality that we tend to confuse with who we are often. And it moves us beyond that space of ego identification into a deeper identification with our living consciousness. The second mantra we chant is the Mangala Chavan mantra. If you're familiar with the mantra, please chant along with me. It's Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Guru Deve Name. And if it's a mantra that's new to you, just open your ears and receive the sound as a blessing. And as you hear it more often, you will learn the mantra in time. So let's begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo, 3 times through. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose, employing the root lock, third eye focus. Exhale through the mouth. Keep those locks, and let's begin. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Are Gure Name, Jugar Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Are Gure Name, Jugar Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Are Gure Name, Jugar Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend the breath, root lock, third eye focus. And exhale. Release, palms face up on the knees. Eyes drop to third eye center, and just relax. Sitting here with the eyes closed for a few moments. As I mention in class rather frequently, is that we practice in Kundalini Yoga with the eyes closed more often than we practice with the eyes open. And the purpose for this is to gain a deeper experience of our internal functions. Not only the physical functions, but the emotional functions, the energetic functions, the spiritual awakeness. And through withdrawing the sense of sight, we can experience more deeply and more profoundly those realities within ourselves. The eyes are very distracting and keep us in the outside world. When we withdraw the sight, we can really focus inward. All right, start with a little warm up. And I'd like to talk a little bit about today's topic and what we'll be working on in the Kriya. Let's start with Sufi Circles. Hands are on the shins. I'm going to roll my heart forward. Inhale, exhale, round and tuck the tail. And in doing this, we're creating space in the hips. We're creating space in the muscles that support the pelvis. And we're creating space in the low spine. We're also massaging the internal organs that exist in the low 3 energy centers. So we have 7 chakras within the physical body. First, second, and third chakra are considered our low triangle of consciousness. No less valuable than the high centers, but these are denser energy centers. And this happens to be where the majority of our pranic life force resides. And so most often, this is where a lot of our energetic blocks occur. And today's focus is going to be on the third and the fourth chakra, the gateways between the two triangles of consciousness. Our root chakra is our grounding, our stability. Our center navel second chakra is our creative inspiration, whether it's through procreation or creative endeavors in your professional life or in your artistic life. And then the third chakra is willpower and identity. So the third chakra allows us to give life to our creative inspirations. So it's really very helpful to have a strong third chakra, a strong center of personal identity and willpower. And as I mentioned, the lower chakras is where the majority of our life force exists. And when that energy is stuck and it's not able to move up to the higher centers of consciousness, the energy tends to express itself negatively, or the shadow side of the expressions of these energy centers. And in that way, it serves to disconnect us from our highest self. Instead of connect us to the high self as a foundation through which to move through life dharmically, we end up moving through life karmically, right? And we have to move beyond those cyclical patterns of blockage that prevent us from moving into our highest, most purposeful self. And there's a beautiful quote that I've mentioned in one of my on-site classes, maybe about a month ago. It was a topic of class, was the third chakra, and I'm kind of redelivering this with this quote, and it was by Gurdjieff, who is a Turkish mystic. And his quote was, "Patience is the mother of the will." Inhale, hold center, and exhale, let's reverse these Sufi circles. Now, at face value, at first think, oh, that's a great quote. Mother is the patience of the will. So it's telling you that there needs to be patience employed in the execution of the will. But when you look at this quote or this statement in further depth, you'll understand that this is actually a teaching. The symbolism of the mother, right? What does the mother symbolize here when he says patience is the mother of the will? The mother's sort of presence, the symbolic nature of the mother, her role as a nurturer, a disciplinarian, an example setter, a defender, and a guardian, right? And the role of the child in this case, the will, that is innocent, naive, requiring guidance, vulnerable, a little bit unmanaged, right? Undisciplined, raw, and inexperienced. So in this case, it's telling us that in order for the will to be properly executed, we must employ patience, right? Mother must be involved in the taking care of this child in this way. So it's necessary to have patience governing the will. And patience, the quality of patience, sits at the heart center. So in order to have a proper execution of this third center, we need to awaken and open the fourth center in order for patience to be applied here. And you often hear people, and I hear it a lot in the 12-step community. Let's inhale, hold the heart forward, exhale, round back. Let's move to spinal flexes here, opening up the central channel. You hear this a lot in 12-step where they talk about being stuck in your will, not surrendering to the will of the higher power. And in some ways that can be dangerous if you're looking to that higher power as something outside of yourself. When you're stuck in your will without the application of higher power, you're stuck in the will of the ego. We have access to the higher power within ourselves. It's not outside of ourselves. The higher power within ourselves is our soul. Our soul is connection to spirit and divine source energy. So it's not the problem. The will, being stuck in your will is not the problem. It's what's driving the will that can be the problem. Is your ego driving the will? Are you stuck in these low energy centers, first, second, and third? Or is your energy liberated to the degree that you can employ patience and the higher centers of consciousness to help govern and direct the execution of your willpower? When we're operating in the will as it's related to the ego. We're dealing with egoic agenda, manipulations, karma. When we're working with divine will of higher source energy, higher power, the spirit, the soul, purpose, we're working with divine soul and surrender. We're working dharmically with the execution of the will. And here, impatience, when you think about the word impatience, it derives thoughts of compulsion, of reaction, of grasping, of fear. And when you think of patience, in order to have patience, we need to employ a level of wisdom, higher wisdom, faith, and love. So today's class, we're going to be doing a Kriya set that helps balance the third chakra center, that ability to take creative inspiration and execute it into our lives, but also involve the fourth center, the heart chakra, to involve the execution of that creative energy in a very patient and dharmic manner, right? Through higher purpose beyond that of just egoic agenda. So without further discussion on that, let's take the hands up onto the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Let's inhale, twist left. Exhale, twist right. And as you're working today, really think about that gateway between the two triangles. Think of the low triangle as an upside down triangle, with the widest part being at the third chakra. And think of the high triangle in the normal way you would see a triangle, with the widest part being at the base, right at the bottom of the heart center. And those two centers joining together to liberate some of that intense life force energy in the lower centers and liberate it up into the higher centers. And then we're using all 7 chakras in the physical body to illuminate our being. Keeping that breath strong, inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. Bathroom muscles remain engaged and eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Let's lift those hands off the shoulders and create a cactus shape or a field goal shape with the arms. Index finger and thumb join into Gyan Mudra, and you'll feel a little bit more stimulation in the heart center. As a result of this extension of the arms, you feel a deeper rotation, wringing out the low body organs, purifying from the inside out, and drawing in oxygen in order to purify the bloodstream and carry out the toxins we're releasing through these movements. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach up center. Root lock, third eye focus, stretch and reach. And then exhale, hinge, bow forward, tent up on the fingers. Chin to the chest and lengthen through the spine. And inhale, rise up. I want to clarify one statement I made, which was when I said it can be dangerous to see God as outside the self. And I want to clarify that. God is outside the self. God is inside the self and outside the self. But if you fail to see that God is also within inside the self, or divine energy, or universal source energy, or 0 point energy, whatever you want to define it as, if you fail to see that it lives within inside you and only see it outside yourself, you become disempowered, especially at that third chakra center, right? Your identity, part of the strength of your identity needs to remain aware that divinity lives within you. It's not just outside of you. God is not outside of you only. We see it all around us, plants and animals and nature, miracles happening, right? But at the same time, it lives in here too. And that's what I meant by it's dangerous, meaning it can be depleting to one's self-love and self-expansion if you don't happen to see that that source energy lives within you as well. All right, we're going to do a little pranayama exercise before we get moving into the kriya. And this pranayama exercise is intended to stimulate the third chakra. And it's a 4-segmented breath. I'm going to have my hands in Gyan Mudra. My eyes are going to be drawn up to third eye center. And I'm going to take 4 emphatic sniffs through the nose. And then 4 emphatic exhales through the nose. So it's going to be like this. Continue. You want to feel the diaphragm pumping as you do this. Stimulating that solar plexus. Let's go for 4 more rounds. And take a deep inhale. Inflate the belly. Root lock, third eye focus. Draw the eyes up. Direct the flow of energy. And exhale, release. Now to a person who's kind of new to Kundalini Yoga, there may be a lack of ability to see value derived to the physical body and the work that we do, because so much of the work is seated. Today's kriya being an exception to many other kriyas. But recognize that this is a very intelligent form of exercise. And we're using energy, we're using breath control, we're using all sorts of things to purify and empower the body. So we're stimulating all the energy centers in the body. And as a result, we're actually making the body more efficient. So the body tends to metabolize fats and sugars more easily. You become a leaner, more efficient. The muscle is more oxygenated and there's so much more circulation in the body. So you are putting less effort into staying fit, lean, and healthy than you otherwise would be if you're going through some of these intense exercise regimens. Consider that somewhat less evolved forms of exercise than what you have here. And you will only come to learn that through either seeing the results that others will derive from the practice of yoga, Kundalini Yoga, or your own experience of the practice of Kundalini Yoga. So let's get the spine moving a little bit before we start into the kriya. Let's roll onto the hands and the knees into tabletop position. And we're going to come into cat-cow move. So hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And I'm going to inhale, lift my chin and tail. Exhale, round and tug. Inhale, exhale. Sometimes it's helpful to mentally chant the mantra to keep your thoughts from moving into ruminations of the past and anticipations of the future. And if that's the case, mentally chant Sat Nam, Sat Nam. Truth is my identity. It's the translation of Sat Nam. Just think that mantra as you move and breathe through this spinal warm-up, distributing pranic energy throughout the whole body here. Inhale, exhale. Let's go for just 30 more seconds. Eyes drawn up to third eye center. Really pump that energy. Keep going. Ten more seconds. Stay strong, stay vibrant, stay focused. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and lift high on the 1. Inhale. Exhale, round, tuck, and dome. And then sit back, child's pose. Knees are wide, butt sinks back to the heels. Walk the arms forward, forehead to the ground, and just allow that energy to move through. Stretch long through the spine. Creating opening in the inner thighs and the hips. All right, let's roll it up for a moment and sit in rock pose. I'm going to sit on my heels, and I want to go over one of the pranayamas we'll be doing today. It's one we do oftentimes in Kundalini Yoga. It's called Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire is a pumping breath in the navel center. So I'm going to show you my belly. And some of the Breath of Fire is going to be done through the mouth today, and some of the Breath of Fire is going to be done through the nose today. So I'll demonstrate both. When we do it through the mouth today, the tongue is going to be extended. Purpose for extending the tongue in yoga practice is for detox and removal of energy from the lungs and heart center. Okay, so panting like a dog, I move my belly and my diaphragm. Now, depending on your level of familiarity and experience with Breath of Fire, maybe a quick one, or maybe a little bit slower in order to maintain consistency. Okay? Now let's practice it through the nose for a moment. Same breath, same movement through the belly, but we're just taking it from the mouth to the nose. And when you do Breath of Fire, you're going to want to do it in a way that's sustainable, right? Meaning you don't want to go all out. And then, 30, 40 seconds into the practice, you're exhausted and your diaphragm can't keep up. You want it nice and even, like the chugging of a choo-choo train. Okay? Now, let's start with it. I'm going to come down, laying onto my belly. And this is where you're going to want to, if you, as I mentioned early in class, if you want to make use of a strap, you're going to want to keep it nearby, because in the second part of this series, we're going to use that strap if needed. Now, I'm going to interlace my hands in Venus lock. That means interlace the fingers. So we're employing a mudra here. We're employing a drishti, which is an eye focus that's going to come up to the third eye center. We're lifting up through the heart, pressing strong through the feet. Glutes are strong and engaged, but not gripping, right? We want to have some liberation in the low back. Lifting through the heart, tongue is extended, and my chin is slightly tucked in to create length in the back of the neck. So I'm not really crunching in the back of the neck. And I begin breath of fire with an extended tongue. Now ground solid through those feet to protect low back. Here we go. Stay with it. Eyes are drawn up. Slight chin tuck so the back of the neck is long. Reaching through those knuckles. Breath of fire with extended tongue. Envisioning that yellow color in the solar plexus area. Move through the uncomfortable. It's going to get uncomfortable. See what you can do to move through those boundaries of the ego resistance. "30 more seconds, guys. Stay with me. Keep those feet planted. Stay committed. Ten. Inhale. Hold the breath, reach. And exhale. Hands come down. And relax. Shake the hips from side to side. Release the low back. Now the chakra is not just in the front of the body. The chakras run around the whole 360 degrees around the body, right? So when we're working the front of the solar plexus, we're also working the back of the upper kidneys and the adrenals here. And these are areas of the body that tend to get very exhausted, worn out. We get adrenal fatigue and chronic fatigue syndrome. Tonifying the kidneys and the adrenals in that way is very helpful to strengthen, recharge, and reset some of that part of the body. Okay. Now this next set is going to be probably the most challenging part of the set today. I encourage you to move a little bit beyond some of your boundaries of comfort, but also employ self-knowledge and self-awareness, which is I know what my limitations are, I know how far I can go beyond them, and I know how far is too far. Okay? So keep that in mind. I'm going to demonstrate both modification and full expression of the pose. Modification would be taking a strap or a scarf or something of the sort and wrapping it around the ankles like this and reaching behind and lifting the body up into a boat pose. Okay? Now, if you already know that you can grab onto the ankles or the feet and grab into that boat pose and lift up and kick into it, great. Now we're going to do that same breath of fire with the extended tongue. And you have an additional option of rocking back and forth while you're doing that breath of fire, okay? You want to make sure that you're on a soft surface, a cushy surface, because the pubic bone is really going to make contact with whatever surface you're on. All right, so that rocking back and forth may feel a little bit intense in that area if you don't have some softness under you. So maybe put a blanket under you. Okay. And if the rocking is out of the question, just do what you can in this particular pose, with or without the strap, and employ that breath of fire. Okay, eyes are closed. Here we go. Breath of fire, tongue extended. And now start rocking back and forth if you can. So much massage of the intestines and the front organs here. So much liberation of blocked energy. Stay with me. Seconds. Ten. And inhale. Contain, suspend. And exhale. Woo! Release. Good job. It is not easy stuff. But man, I'll tell you, their internal organs, first, second, third, and fourth chakra get so much energetic benefit out of an experience like that. Just a few minutes of a little bit of lack of comfort in order to really make a profound change at the level of our being. That's what this stuff is all about. Now here's where some weird stuff comes in with Kundalini Yoga, and I know some of you guys love this weird stuff. And by weird stuff, I mean activities that don't really make sense on the level of the physical body. But on the level of the energetic body, these make an awful lot of sense. Keep an eye on time here. Okay, so my head is going to be down on the ground. I'm going to use just one hand for now so you can see and hear me. And with a breath of fire, I'm going to lift my elbows and pat my hands down on the ground. Okay, so my forehead's going to be down on the ground. I begin a breath of fire through the nose. And I'm just going to bend and extend my hands, slapping the hands down on the ground, okay? Breath of fire, very strong through the nose, and just stimulate the heart chakra here. This is what we're doing with the hands, stimulating the heart chakra. We're also stimulating the lobes of the brain here. Index, middle, and ring finger have energetic connection to the four lobes of the brain. So this stimulation to the hands is very powerful to the heart chakra and to the brain. Keep that breath of fire going. Thirty more seconds. Powerful breathing. Powerful hands. Ten. Deep inhale, lift the hands. And exhale, relax. You likely felt some stimulation in the shoulders and the upper neck. So not only were we stimulating the heart center here, we're stimulating the throat chakra. So all of that work that we just did with the bow pose, breath of fire, we're taking all that liberated energy and moving it up. That's what's really cool about this work. After you explore it a little bit more, you're like, oh, it totally makes sense why we do what we do. Okay. Now, staying on the belly. With open hands, we're just going to start to smack the butt. Head is on the ground, and just give yourself a little smack in the butt. Stimulating energy here at the base of the spine. stimulating circulation. You want to feel that kind of slap on the flesh. Low back and glutes, just give it a slap. Feel that stimulation just right on the skin. You want to stimulate circulation at the surface of the skin. Okay? And now we're going to bring that and start kicking as well. Tiny little swimmer kicks as we smack the booty. Okay? Head can be to the side and grounded. Tiny little kicks, tiny little slaps. Lots of fun today in Kundalini Yoga. Keep breathing. Regular breath here, regular breath. Work up some heat. Shoulders and hands are going to get a little bit tired. Keep that navel center engaged after muscles. Let's go for 30 more seconds. And it's not bending at the knees. The knees are extended straight and you're feeling the work in the thighs. All right, let's go for 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Let the heart rate balance out. Allow that energy to assimilate. Take one more deep breath. Hands come under the shoulders. Let's press it back, child's pose. So knees come out wide, butt sinks back to the heels, forehead down. And join the palms to touch over the top of the head. All right, slowly come up to sit in rock pose. So that means drawing the knees together, sitting on the heels. If you want to take a pillow, put it between the heels and the butt for a little more comfort. Feel free to do so. All right. Let's take the hands onto the shins, or onto the thighs rather, and in a counterclockwise action. So envision the hands of a clock moving in clockwise action. You want to move in the opposite action. We're going to start rolling in what feels in the torso like a Sufi circle, but we're massaging the internal organs and kind of rolling here. Now you're going to feel this movement in the spine and the abdomen. And if you're sitting directly on the heels, you're going to also feel the heels massaging the underside of the glutes, right where the hamstrings attach. And there's an energy channel here in this underside of the butt that is associated with digestion and elimination. So here we're also working a pranic energy, that part of the pranic balance that requires elimination, right? We can take in a lot of prana, life force energy, we can sustain it, but if we're not allowing it to release, the system, the body gets congested. Literally, right, within the physical structure, we can become constipated, and then in the energetic structure, we can become very resistant and very grasping. And that manifests into the personality and into the emotions. So just moving through churning, eyes are drawn up to the third eye center. And let it feel very soothing. Envision it like you're cleaning house on the inside. Counterclockwise action only. Keep the breath nice and strong. Stay with me, guys. It's moments like this and exercises like this where our mind starts to get hijacked with ruminations of the past and anticipations of the future. It serves you to pay focus to the breath and create present awareness. And the more we rein ourselves into present awareness, the more we can create neural pathways in the brain that remind us more regularly to stay in presence, right? It's a process of brain train, right? Training the brain to stay present. Not allowing yourself to indulge in rumination and anticipation as long as you usually do. Bring yourself back into presence. Let's go for 30 more seconds here. Really open up. Try and dig deeper into these Sufi rolls. Feeling the underside of the glutes and the hamstrings. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, center. Exhale. Just rest for a moment. Sitting in stillness. Allowing yourself to sit in stillness. Bear witness to that part of yourself that wants to fidget, that wants to fix your hair, that wants to shift your clothes, that wants to itch your face. And just witness it, but don't act on it. Just stay still. So much medicine in this. Okay, hi honey. Hands interlaced behind the back. You're gonna have to move aside a little bit. Beep, beep. Okay. I'm gonna interlace my hands, lift my heart to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, hinge, bow forward, lift those knuckles up over the back of my head as high as I can. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Eyes are closed. And like one of those little water birds, right? Those little toys that pick up water and then drop it back down. Just move like that. Inhale and exhale down. Eyes are drawn up. Again, find yourself in that present moment. Thirty more seconds. Last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Root lock, third eye focus, suspend the breath, draw the eyes up. Contain. Exhale. Inhale. Root lock, third eye focus, contain that energy, tense up the muscles, draw it up. And exhale. Relax. Long, deep breathing here. And when you're ready, come shift into a cross-leg position. We're going to just gently meditate just for about 2 to 3 minutes before we begin our weekly mantra. Index finger and thumb join, palms face up, chin slightly tucked toward the chest, eyes drawn up, long deep breathing. And as you meditate, paying focused attention to the quality and the quantity of the breath, the sensation of the breath coming in and out. And while you're breathing, feeling the energy space around the body, feeling the space that you take up in the room. Even on the inhale, even on the exhale. Allowing all that energy to assimilate into the centers. Take one final deep breath into the nose. And exhale. Okay. Gently blink the eyes open. If you're on my email list, you were emailed today's mantra and this week's mantra. We do a weekly mantra on our live stream class. And today's mantra is the sound Ong So Hung. O-N-G, and you feel that sound Ong in the back of the throat, right? The tongue hits the epiglottis in the back of the throat. The back of the tongue kind of presses up against the back of the throat, thus creating a stimulation into meridian points that connect up to glands in the brain. Ong So Hung. So it's skull vibration, heart vibration, skull vibration. And this mantra, Ong So Hung, is translated to creative consciousness. I am that. I am creative consciousness. And as I mentioned, the will is serving to the execution of our creative drives, our creative inspirations. So the will is very linked into developing an identity of us being creative consciousness. We create in like with that of the creator, right? So we have that within us that exists in nature all around us, that creative drive, that creative spark, that creative impulse. This mantra embodies a profound spiritual power. To chant Ong So Hung is to call upon and recognize your personal connection with universal consciousness. Repetition further reinforces the power of the mantra. Our energetic vibrations begin to elevate and align with those of the universe and the creative consciousness itself. This is a heart-centered mantra which evokes feelings of compassion, warmth, love, and patience, right? Patience being the mother of the will. Some find this mantra brings feelings of sorrow or grief. And if you do happen to feel those emotions when you chant this mantra, recognize that as a good thing. This experience is a necessary energetic clearing that may be needing to take place, that is essential to occur for healing to take place. Okay, so the mantra is completed upon exhalation. We inhale, Om So Hung, and then inhale, okay? My left hand is going to be on my heart center. And I know you can't see my right hand because it's behind the little chant sheet. But my hands are in Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb, but the palm is facing down on the knee. And mudras are very interesting energetic circuits that we create in the body. Oftentimes in modern yoga, drishtis and mudras have been removed as seemingly unnecessary elements, and that's not the case. I think oftentimes yoga teachers don't come to understand the power of these things, and so they don't employ them in their classes. And these are very powerful but subtle energies that are stimulated and cultivated through the use of drishti, which is eye focus, and mudra, focus of the hands. This mudra creates a mental peace and alleviates nervous tension. It also boosts the power of our memory, right? So it strengthens our ability to memorize. All right. Let's get this going here. Try and turn up the volume so you can hear. Eyes are closed, drawn up to third eye center. Left hand is gently pressing on the heart. Right hand is palm facing down in Gyan Mudra. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Eyes drop to third eye center. And let's listen to the first round and then join along. This is Guru Singh's version of Ong So Hung. It's a long Ong. So Hung. Let the vibration carry, let it resonate. Deep inhale to begin. So hum. Feel the vibration through your heart, through your skull, eyes are drawn up. Become the vibration. So eyes remain drawn up, stimulate third eye center. Three more rounds. Let your sound resonate. Last time. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend the breath. Press the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Root lock, third eye focus. And exhale. Gently bless that area, the center point between the third and fourth chakra. The power to execute your creative inspiration and the area of patience through which to derive dharmic purpose through the expression of the will. Take a deep breath and exhale, sigh it out. Gently shake the legs out. And come laying down onto your backs. Feet and thighs turning out naturally as you lay down, shoulders down away from the ears, palms face up. And come into a nice, relaxed Savasana, corpse pose. Chin is tucked to the chest. Jaw softens. Just allow everything to relax and soften. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins and rock from side to side as you are on your back. And then roll onto one side into fetal position. Using your top hand to push yourself up, seated cross-leg position. Hands come to the heart center. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the light within you guide your way on. Let's close out with 3 long vibrations of the expression Satnam. This mantra means truth is my identity. As we cast this vibration out, we send out a vibrational intention to the universe, to God, that we want to connect to our highest truth, and opportunities then come our way in which to expand and connect more deeply to our truth. Let's take a deep breath in. Satnam. Take a deep breath in. Suspend it Bring folded hands to third eye center, blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward. Salam, namaste. Inhale, rising up. Thank you, guys. I hope you feel really good after that practice. A lot of clearing in this gateway between the low and the high triangle. I see that there's a couple comments and questions that I will respond to in just a moment, but I just want to make clear to explain that YogaWorks will be changing starting tomorrow as far as paid and free access and the platform on which they will be holding live stream classes. It'll be on Zoom now. So you'll be able to access their MBO, Mind Body Online, where you can connect and sign in for those classes at yogaworks.com/classes/live. My Saturday live stream class on my YouTube channel will remain exactly as is. Saturdays at noon on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you'd like to get the reminder for that. And also, if you want to get reminders for all of my classes and links for all of my live stream classes, as well as get the weekly mantra, you can get on my email list by either emailing me at karalooneyyoga@gmail.com or jumping onto my website, karalooney.com, and get on my contact list. You can find me on Instagram with the handle of Kundalini, and obviously on Facebook. Thank you, guys. Let's see what we got here. Diana. Hi, everyone. Diana here from Culver City. Good to have Culver City representing. Clifford Chang. Hey. Hi, Clifford. Kathleen O'Hara. You're so welcome. We have a few moments here, so please let me know if anyone has any questions. All of my live streamed YogaWorks classes that were on YouTube will be carried over to my YouTube page. So you will have those to take moving forward. I'm going to be carrying them over, and right now they're all linked to their YouTube page, but they're going to put that YouTube page private. So I'm going to download all those classes and make them accessible on my page. So you will have them moving forward. All right, guys. Well, I look forward to seeing you for YogaWorks class Kundalini tomorrow at 2:30. As soon as I get that link, I will email it out to my email list people. That'll probably be tonight. So if you want to get on my email list to get that link, just email me at karalooneyyoga@gmail.com or get on my website. Or just go to their MBO, Mind Body Online link tomorrow, and you will find my class at 2:30 in the afternoon. Then again, Saturday on my YouTube channel, and then Sunday back at YogaWorks. All right, guys, if anyone has anything else to say or ask, please let me know. Looks like we're all pretty set here. We still have some people online, but I know a lot of you people don't have the access to chat. So sending you all love. Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow. Sat Nam.